Good morning and welcome back to a diary of a first-time property developer. This is week 5 now, and it is Saturday, so the week has actually finished and we're just going to do a little recap. And it's been a bit of an up and down week, to be honest, so I haven't been able to get out much due to the fact that my dog had surgery, so been a bit housebound. The demolition is finished and was actually finished on Monday, but there was a bit of a communication error, so didn't actually find out that there had been no one on site since Monday until yesterday when I popped past. Obviously this isn't great, seeing as we've financed the site and every day there's literally interest adding up, so going forwards we're just going to try and put some sort of structure in place to make sure that things like that don't happen again. Good points from this week: the demolition is finished and we have managed to overcome all the problems around the insulation that, if you've watched previous videos of mine, I would have shown you the holes in the walls, showing the cavities and the makeup of the walls and stuff. Basically we have to build to building regulations, and the numbers that we were working towards were for a new build property rather than a conversion, which I will go into a bit more later. But the basic premise of it is that if you're building a new build, you have to reach a higher standard than you do if you're doing a conversion for the existing elements. So for example, the outside walls that I've shown you do not have to reach such a high standard for insulation as they would if you were building a new build house. Same for the floor. We were quite worried about the build up of the insulation on the floor, how that would affect then things like window heights up to the sill and bits and pieces like that. So all of that now has been covered off and the working drawings are completed and submitted to building control for the building control plan check. I was speaking to you guys about the difference between the new build and the conversion. So as you can see, if we had had to build the floor up, it would have probably been getting on for where that bit of skirting board is. That would probably be what the floor height would be just with the insulation, and then by the time you have the build up of the floor, the sill level would have just been ridiculously low. So because we are doing the conversion, and that means that we can use the U values for a converted property for the existing elements, that means that we don't have to go to such great lengths with the insulation for the floor. I think what else I'll do this week is talk you through the structural drawings that the structural engineer has done for us. Right guys, these are the structural drawings that we've had back for our project. Let's talk about what we've got existing so far. So this is the existing beam
that holds up the block and beam floor. This would be the one side of the wall that's going to be removed, and this is going to be the other side which is going to be removed. So what we've got here is the walls are being replaced with RSJs that go across the span, and then we've got RSJ column on one side, and then we've got basically, I think this is a box section with a plate which will then hold up the other section, and that's pretty much just mirrored either side. Over this side, this beam, that is to be placed underneath the damaged concrete beam, which I will show you later in the video. There's a slight crack in it, and obviously with it being structural, we just didn't want to take any risks, so we thought that was probably the easiest way to overcome that. So also we're going to have a staircase going up, and that also means that we need to put a hole in the floor, so that all needs to be supported. So to do that, we've got more steel beams, and also we have got some lightweight block work which will support the floor for the opening, because the stairs turns 90 degrees at the top. These walls here, they are just going to help with the buttress effect. I think it's called buttress effect. Don't crucify me if I've got any of these terms wrong here, but they're buttress walls, and that is basically to stop the sidewards movement on the building. So what they're going to do is we will build it out of our steel frame, and then it's going to have 18mm ply on one side. He did say that we could have 2 lots of 9mm ply to sort of even it up both sides, but what we're going to do is, in certain places where we have, say, kitchen units and stuff, we will just make sure that any of the walls that need to have the 18mm ply, it will be on the side of the walls where the kitchens will be. So I think that I've got some footage from upstairs. When we reinstate the walls, we're going to use a metal frame system, and to get the rigidity we have to put 18mm of ply. So that's going to work quite nicely here, for example, wherever the wall is put back in, on one side you have a bathroom, so we can use plasterboard for the wall, and then on this side we're going to have a kitchen. So we can put the 18mm ply, and it just means you've got something nice and sturdy for your units to attach to. That would actually be this bit here. So we've got the bathroom on one side and the kitchen on the other. Upstairs is a little more simple. It's just these buttress walls. And that is that. This detail just says how we need to fix it into the floor. And how they all need to be joined together. So obviously everything is specified for us. There's no guesswork. I think these were quite reasonable, these drawings. I think they cost us about $7.50 plus the VAT, and that included a site visit and everything that was turned around within a week. So I'm pretty happy with that. Like I say, I would definitely recommend these guys if you needed it.
So I'm going to take you on a dog walk now. I'm always either driving or walking around on these videos. I have tried just to sit at the camera, sit and look at the camera, but I just can't do it. So yet, I will work on it. But yeah, I'm gonna have a little walk around with the dog now, so let's go. Go on then, you know where we're going. Come on. Are you a superstar? Hey? Come on, big girl. Come on. Not much has necessarily changed this week at the building because the guys were only there finishing off the demolition on Monday. We have though moved on with the drawings and other bits and pieces in the background. Because I'm documenting this for myself, as I've already said, but hopefully other people will get something out of it. So I just wanted to talk about the different types of drawings that we've had and the different types of drawings that we could have had and why we're happy that we ended up with the package we did rather than going for something a bit less. So first off, we did some design drawings. They went in for planning, so design drawings or planning drawings, and that basically just set out anything that would need to be known at the planning stage. So the room sizes, what the rooms were going to be used for, where the windows and doors are. What else was on those plans? I can't really remember, but they're basically the simplest plans for the start to allow you to go to planning. After that, we have gone on to the working drawings, and we have gone for a M&E package, which is mechanical and engineering. So that means that everything's marked on there.
Hi guys, so we're back on the mobile view. I just wanted to show you the level of detail that you get with these M&E drawings. So you've got your switches and your plug sockets, you've got the bits for your TV, you've got your thermostat, you've got your shower layouts. I mean, really, you've even got your room layouts, the new beams on there, where all of your kitchen stuff's going to go. So these really were worth the money, we feel. We don't want to get stuck trying to work out how to do something or overcome something later on, stopping the build and taking up more time. So we're really quite happy with these. We think it was a really good investment. Oh, I've just noticed down in the corner there, look, we've got the radiators. So it really is everything that you will need is marked on these.
That's not something that you have to have. That was something that we chose to have. It was quite a bit more money, but we just feel that if we can plan now where everything is going to be, how it's all going to fit together, those few extra thousands that you pay up front, we think it could save maybe tens of thousands if you come across problems later and you have to put the build on hold. The third type of drawings that we've now had done are from the structural engineer, and they come with calculations, and they basically tell you what you can and can't do, make sure the building doesn't fall down, bits and pieces like that. So those are the three types we've got, and like I said, I think the best decision we made is to have those M&E drawings done. It just gives you so much more certainty. Also, now that we're at the stage of the completion of the demolition, having all of that done, all of those drawings in place, means that we can sit down with the contractors and really iron out every job that needs to be done line by line and know that everything's accounted for. What we don't want to do is anyone to say, oh well, we didn't know that needed doing, and all that sort of thing later down the line. But having that level of detail should mean that that won't happen. When I started to look into doing something in property, I firstly just tried to do some research online and things like YouTube and stuff. So I'm going to try and put in things that I think would have been useful for me whilst doing my research, just so that you can see how everything links together throughout the build. So for example, we spoke about the drawings, and now I want to speak about how that then links in with your building control. So we have got a private building control company that are going to be looking after the project, and we've also got a new build warranty company that's going to put structural warranties on the properties once they are finished. So what they do is they will put a warranty on the flats for 10 years for any structural problems. So the first 2 years, we as the builder or as the developer, we're on the hook for any structural problems, and after that the warranty would kick in if there were any problems for another 8 years. Because of that, obviously they're going to want to come and have a look, and the building control people will also want to come and look at different stages. Our building control that we've paid for, we've got up to 10 visits, so they'll come out and inspect it up to 10 times. We can always pay for more if we need them, but so far we paid for 10, and they have 5 stages where they need to come. So hopefully we'll be all right with our 10. The way it works, we've now sent off our plans to them, and so it's got all the detailed information. They then do a plan check and say that they're okay with what we are planning to do. We then undertake the work to whatever point, and then we have one of these site inspections, and then they do a report and hopefully tell us that everything we've done is exactly what they want us to do. The way that he explained it to me was, you have your architect who's qualified to design it, you then have your builder who is qualified to build it, and all they are there to do, the building control, is to come and check that it has been done in accordance with the drawings and professionally by the builders. So they won't give advice on how to do it and things like that, but as long as you've got your drawings which have been okayed, and as long as your builders implement it the way that they want, there shouldn't be any problems. The other thing that we had back from building control was a list of certification that they will need before we get our sign off. So for example, things like any products you use where there's fire regulation, if you have gas put in, you obviously need that person to be certified that he can do that job, and that's where all of that sort of information and certification is captured. Something else I wanted to talk about, the budget. Now, currently I have a pickup, and last year or earlier this year the HMRC said that they were going to do something with a tax on the double cabs. Apparently that was back in the budget. So apparently from, is it April 2025 now, a double cab pickup is going to be a car and not commercial. So don't know what goes on with that. I wonder whether, you see these transit customs where they have like a crew cab, I wonder if that comes into it. I've tried to find anything online, can't seem to find anything. If anyone knows, then please let me know in the comments. I don't know, just seems that any sort of, I don't know if it's a bonus, but anywhere that you had a little bit of a touch, it's just being ironed out everywhere. So it seems like we're just getting taxed to death. The worst bit about it is, no matter, even if these lot do go after 5 years, you know the next lot aren't going to roll it back. They'll moan about it the whole time while they're in opposition, and then when it comes to it and they have to give up X amount of dough, I just don't see it happening, do you? Looking forward to next week. What do we need to do? We need to address the problem with the communication from last week and not hearing about the guys not being on site. I don't think it would have happened if I hadn't have had to stay home this week, but obviously just moving forward, something that we will sort out. Need to get those stills ordered. Need to then make a plan of what we're going to do, because we have looked at a few different heating sources for this building. Currently I think on the drawings where we've got radiators again. We went underfloor heating, then we went to radiators, and now that we might not put gas in, we might go back to underfloor heating but electric. So just need to understand, are we able to build the floor up as normal and then still fit the electric underfloor heating? So these are all things I'll probably do Monday. Need to sort out this welfare as well. So currently the guys have been alright because we've still got the toilets in the building and the water, hot water, cold water, but that is going to have to come out soon. So we were looking at buying our own welfare. They're about £8,000, but I think to rent one is £1,000 or £1,200 a month. So by the time you've done that, we will have paid for our own one. We could have paid for our own one in the time we're going to be on site. But the other problem on the flip side is, how many do you buy? So if you've got more than one site, do you just keep buying them, and then when you don't have a site, stack them up somewhere? You know, it's all the questions. So but yeah, these are the things. We need to just do a bit of planning, I think, and get back on track and make sure that there's no more stoppages, because I have worked on a lot of different sites with my other business, and there's two types of sites. I think there's the ones where they're constantly at it. So I used to own a concrete boom pump, and lots of sites, and I don't blame them, to be fair. You'd go and pour say a slab, for example, and if the slab was done at 2, everyone was done at 2, and then you see these real successful, or what I consider to be successful guys, they don't stop at 2, they're cracking on. I know that's not great for the lads and stuff, but at the end of the day, lots of developers do go bust. So I think that keeping that momentum, literally every day you're just burning money in the finance. So I think to keep that momentum could be the difference between whether you make profit or not in some cases. So yeah, we need to keep moving.